shining bright. The luminosity data of India, the nighttime luminosity is up 43% in the last 1 decade. This is the latest report of ISRO, which has come out through satellite data, which studies how bright our country looks at night. And today, hi, this is Aman Sharma from News18.com. Today, I'm joined by Srishti Chaudhary from News18.com, and we are discussing that if India is looking brighter by 43% over a decade, why India is looking brighter by more than 43%, and we try to analyze the reasons, which we'll go into detail later. But other three major reasons I would like to put it at: one, I think the Modi government's focus on various power and electricity schemes, the Saubhagya scheme, which saw every household in the country being electrified, the Ujala scheme, which has seen over 30 crore LED bulbs being distributed across the country, and third, the record construction of the national highways in the country, over a 50% increase in national highways infrastructure in the country over the last 7 to 8 years, if you say so. And these are lit up national highways at night. Obviously, they also contribute to luminosity. But first, Srishti, let's speak about the data. What does the ISRO report really say? If you can summarize it a bit for our viewers.
Yes. So basically, this is the nighttime lights data. The data has come from the satellites which are being operated by NASA as well as NOAA, which is based in US. Now, National Remote Sensing Center, based in Hyderabad, has analyzed the data from last 10 years, starting 2012 to 2021. And what we have observed is that there is a 43% increase in the night lights luminosity, as we say, across the country over the last decade. Now, this is a marked improvement, but there has been a drastic rise in a couple of states, which we are going to discuss now. But overall, it signifies that there has been a rise in the economic activities, which is one of the indicators of this night lights data.
The report, in fact, says that this report is also a parameter to study maybe the infrastructure development in the country, the economic development of the country, because if the country is shining bright at night, obviously there is sense of more economic activity happening. But interestingly, this report points out to some major states which have shown a big increase in the luminosity, mainly being Bihar, which is almost 400% increase. It was only 8% luminosity way back in 2012, a 400% increase in that. Another big states like Uttar Pradesh are reporting a high number, West Bengal is reporting a high number, Kerala is reporting a higher number, even smaller states like Manipur, Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir, these are showing higher numbers. This also has its inherent, I think Bihar mein the electrification scheme saw rapid progress in the last 5 or 6 years or so. That is also showing up in the figures. How would you compare these states, Srishti, when we say compare a Bihar to maybe like a Rajasthan, where the luminosity is still low due to geographical conditions in a large desert area? But how would you compare the states specifically?
Rightly so, Aman, like you said, these night lights are basically an indicator of the economic output that each of these states are generating, especially in places like Asia, where we do not have so much of data on the ground. So a lot of experts use these data correlated with GDP, economic development, infrastructure development, formation of building of the highways. So the data suggests that Bihar, where the cumulative radiance was it has gone up by a staggering 474%, which is 474%, which is drastic from 2012 to 2021. And more prominent changes were observed in Patna, Jahanabad, Vaishali and Siwan. The other three states where we saw a drastic jump is Manipur, Ladakh, as well as Kerala. So there are three ends of the country where the luminosity has gone up.
Increase across the country. We've seen states at far corners reporting this high luminosity.
Yes,
and Bihar was almost a black hole. If you see in 2012, just at 8% luminosity, that place was not visible, and suddenly it's now very much visible on the India map at night.
Right. And apart from that, other states, obviously Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh, have continued to increase. They were already hubs of economic development, and the luminosities has increased over the years. Now, another important factor that we need to take into consideration is that this data shows a 5% slump in 2020. Now, if you recall, 2020 was the pandemic year when there was a prolonged lockdown, the economic activities were shut, the workspaces were shut. So there was a 5% slump, but things began improving in 2021, and there has been a 9% increase from 2020 to 2021.
That shows that the economic activity is back with a bang. Also, if we compare some of the schemes that I was speaking about, have they contributed to the data? If we look at some of these schemes, if I read out some of these figures for our viewers, the Ujala scheme, which was launched in 2017 October by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, this was basically to cover every household in the country with electricity. The number of households which have been electrified since till 2021 is nearly 3 crore. So 3 crore households in the country, out of the about we have 20 crore households maybe in all in the country, 3 crore households were added with electricity. That's a major factor. Second has been the Ujala scheme, which was again launched under this government, under which nearly 37 crore LED bulbs have been distributed to various houses. So government officials whom I spoke to said these LED bulbs are shining bright. 3 crore houses getting electricity is a big thing, which may have contributed to this data. The third, I would put it to the national highway construction in the country. So we had about 98,000 kilometers of national highways in the country in 2014-15. It has risen to almost 1.45 lakh kilometers of national highways as on date. The construction of national highways per day has increased to about 29 kilometers per day from 12 kilometers per day before 2014. So clearly, there's a marked increase, almost a 50% increase in national highways. Or these national highways are also lit up in various stretches, during the night. Is this also contributing to the increased luminosity? Maybe. So these are the 3-4 major factors I think which have contributed. Apart from, of course, the economic development and the larger cities like Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi, which obviously have higher luminosity, there's increased economic activity. Overall, I think it's good news for the government and good news for India as such that higher activity is being shown. Some states are still a bit struggling, Srishti. If we see in this data,
Yes.
some states are still back. If you speak a bit about them, maybe which states need to do maybe more bit on
Yeah.
this luminosity data.
Yes, yes. So if we analyze the data, it's moderate in Lakshadweep, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu. Jharkhand has shown some improvement, but it's 12%. Then there's Haryana, Punjab. These were otherwise, there are large chunks of areas which are rural. There's agricultural activities taking place. So, but even the union territories have shown some improvement. That's Andaman and Nicobar, then Lakshadweep Islands as well. So the overall picture is good, but yes, of course, there are areas for improvement. It also shows that India is anyways moving towards a more urbanized version of development.
Absolutely,
Yes.
I think the larger picture in mind also is that if the country's luminosity is increasing, the country's economic growth is improving. This shows in various parameters, and as we saw, there's a lot of geographical challenges also, like in states like Rajasthan and Jharkhand, where there's a lot of forested area, a lot of desert area in Rajasthan. There, the luminosity will always be lesser, but still, overall, it seems like a good picture for India. And we'll be back to discuss more such topics, which are important to our viewers. Thank you so much for joining us at CNN News 18.